going through my LinkedIn messages just the other day. Actually, I go through my LinkedIn messages quite a bit. And I saw some of the usual things I normally see: invitations to connect with people, messages from people I've already connected with at some point or another. The occasional spam I get. Don't like that, but I do get my share of spam. And then I noticed something quite recently that just sort of stood out like a breath of fresh air. Somebody wanted to reconnect with me, but the way they went about doing it, I thought was kind of clever. It caused me to pause for a moment, and it also caused me to reach out to them, even though I was very busy at the time. So I figured, you know what, this is something that I think a lot of recruiters could take advantage of. Let me reach out to this person, and I did. We're old pals. And I asked him, would he meet with me here on the podcast and sort of discuss what he did. Welcome to It's All Recruiting, the show that looks at everything through the lens of recruiting. I'm your host, Jim Stroud.
Well, Jim, my name is Doug Lehman, to all the people out there listening on the Jim Stroud Show. And Jim, I specialize in sales training videos. I'm a video blogger and with a background in sales and marketing. But what I do is simple 1 to 2 minute call to action type videos, whether it's green screen videos. It's usually for authors, speakers, trainers, and entrepreneurs. But the video you're talking about, how we reconnected, is just a touch point video that I put out on LinkedIn.
Very nice.
And it's one of the tools that I, like you said in the introduction, that I like to stay on top of my network, and obviously I'm very passionate about video and branding, and I thought it was a great opportunity to just put together a short video to reach out to my connections, and sure enough, I got you to respond. So that's one of the positives of doing this.
Yeah, I think when I saw it, I responded to it within an hour or a few minutes after you posted it. I think I was right on LinkedIn when you sent it to me. I'm curious.
And actually,
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying you were right on, jolly on the spot with it. I think it was within hours. I think I did the actually Super Bowl Sunday of all days, but
okay.
Not to date the podcast, but that's when we connected.
Very cool. Now, I know I was quick to respond. Is that the normal reaction you get when you send a video message to people you're trying to reconnect with?
It depends. I really try to, I'm selective, and I try to personalize it. So some people respond and some people don't. In fact, some people don't actually they read the text, but they don't watch the video. And that's one of the things. But the video is just an added bonus. But if I get people to watch the video, they're more than likely to respond. It may be a day or so afterwards, but it's usually a quicker turnaround than a simple text.
Yeah, I've used video several times in my recruiting efforts, and I have noticed that when you use video to connect with people, they respond. The response rate is higher. I guess it's because, like in my case, with your video, it's different. You know, it sets you apart from everyone else who may be reaching out to you. I'm really curious. What has been like your response rate overall? I mean, you don't have to say exact numbers, but just say percentage-wise, what would you say approximately people are responding? What percentage responded to your video message?
So if I send out like 100 videos, just to keep the math kind of easy, I would say I will get, and it all depends who your audience is too. If they like it or if they don't like it, it doesn't matter if you send them a video. And I don't know if I have many haters out there, but the point is really retouching points. But it's probably about 20% higher than the norm, maybe 30%. I don't want to say as high as 50%, but it ups the engagement level. And I think it's just a creative way to stay top of mind. I mean, you could get real clever and personalized videos, and I've done that for my business reasons, where I've actually had a call with a potential client and then did a video recapping our call that we had and thought of ways to just kind of think outside the box. And because the service I sell is video, it parlays into it's a nice brand, because what I'm doing with the video is actually somewhat of the service that I help promote and sell.
You know what?
It's a win-win for me.
Sure it is. I like that technique. I'm going to have to borrow that. So because I can imagine interviewing a candidate, and things went really well, or what have you, and then you do a quick video in front of your webcam, say, hi, I really enjoyed our time today. Look forward to working with you in the future. And what I think that would do is it'll get their attention to help build a relationship with you, and at worst case, you get some more referrals from it. I mean, would you think that's the case?
No, I definitely think that's the case. It's just the way, and you do it quite well with your blogs. I've been following your career. The fact is, you're stepping out. You hear that phrase, stepping outside the box, but you're using technology, using videos to communicate and to be different than the regular guy. Then a different follow-up thank you note. In fact, I've interviewed for jobs face to face, and I've always followed up. Not always, but recently I've been following up with videos saying thank you for the opportunity, and I get nice comments. Hey, that was the best rejection follow-up letter I've ever gotten, Doug. And we'll keep you top of mind. It makes me feel good. But there's a couple companies that I did that for. But no, it's just the ways, as a sourcer and recruiters out there, that there's looking at ways to match candidates up, and if they can formulate a message, if they can articulate a message through video or an audio, I think that's a great way to convey a message. I'm
glad you said that audio piece, because I was wondering, to know some people are very camera shy, to put it in a nice way, and I'm wondering, would the same effect happen if you instead sent an MP3 to someone in email, or you did a video that didn't necessarily have a video with it, but maybe it was just a picture of yourself, and the audio portion was playing as well. Sort of like when you watch the news sometimes, and someone is a international correspondent, and you just see just their picture, and you hear them talking over the phone about what's going on in whatever country. Do you think that would work as well, or does it have to be like a live video with movement and all that kind of stuff?
I think what you just described works as well, because it's rich media in a sense that it's pictures, and people like to look at pictures, and if you put an audio piece to it, and it's great, like you said, for the person who doesn't want to be in the video, but maybe showcase some of their work in a slideshow or their presentations and have that. And the thing about audio, and I learned this from one of your podcasts, is that this is not necessarily for a recruiter, but this is for just your audience in general. People don't necessarily have time to look at a video, but you can listen to audio or a podcast while you're on the treadmill, stuck in traffic. It's kind of hard to watch a video when you're in the grocery store in the checkout line or driving your car, but the audio portion is I think just as powerful. But adding the pictures and the video pieces, there's a lot of great free tools out there that you can create visual slideshows and just do a voiceover. You're still going to get your point across visually with audio.
Very interesting. Very interesting, actually. So podcasting could very well be a recruitment channel in a sense, because you're providing content that would attract, I guess, a certain type of individual that you may want to hire. And as they subscribe, you can sort of reach out to them that way. And if they, answer a question or some other sort of call to action that you give out during the podcast, that might be a way to attract them as well.
I think you nailed it with that. Whether it's podcasting or video, it's the other ability is it's on demand at their leisure. You can read it when you feel like reading an email or reading text. I get that, but again, like I'd like to say, from a video perspective, would you rather read a 25-page white paper or watch a video or hear an audio file that explains everything you need to know in 2 minutes, as opposed to reading tons and tons of text? I like reading. Reading's fundamental, and I like text, but being able to tell a story and telling it through audio and being able to show it through video, we're visual learners and we're more perceptive to that. It just humanizes the recruiting process, and it just humanizes the actual communication level.
Very cool. If somebody wanted to get in contact with you and talk about your video services and other things that you do, how could they reach out to you?
There's a couple ways. I can just say Google me and put in the word Video Ambassador Atlanta, or just contact Doug Lehman. That's Lehman at DougLehman.com, or Doug Lehman on Twitter. That's just the best way to reach me. I'm highly sociable out there, and just look me up through Google, Doug Lehman, Lehman, or on Twitter.
Very cool. I'm going to add a link to your page in the description of this podcast. So if anyone listening, if you're too lazy to write it all down, just look in the description and click the link there. It'll be right there for you. Doug, I appreciate your time, and thank you once again for that a kind message. It really reminded me to do more of what I should be doing, is sending out video email messages out to candidates.
Well, thank you for having me, Jim. And as you know, since 2009, I've been a big fan of your work and some of the e-books and some of the quality you put out there in the sourcing world and the recruiting world. And if you're a person in job transition, there's a lot of insightful information on that as well. So I got to give you kudos to that, because you were the one to introduce me to tools like Visual CV back in the day. And somewhat a way, you kind of created this video guy in me. So I'm going to put you created this monster. But more importantly, thank you for the opportunity to talk a little bit about recruiting and leveraging video as a tool of choice.
Hey, no problem. I feel like I owe you $20 for all those compliments. All right. Well, thank you, sir. Check is in the mail.
Tweet me your thoughts or leave a comment. Either way, I want to know what you think. Be sure to stay in touch with me. I have a few things on the horizons that I would like for you to know about. My blog is jimstroud.com. Please subscribe. My Twitter is @JimStroud. Please follow. And, of course, I'm on LinkedIn and Google+. I'm everywhere! Until I just cracked myself up. Until next time, only me. Until next time, bye.